Rohit, well played. Heading into an important stage of the World Cup, how destabilizing a factor is the uncertainty of a number four? Or is it?
There is no uncertainty. I mean, I thought we made it very clear at the start uh, that Vijay would play, but before the game he got a toe issue. He got hit on his toe by Jasprit in the net session, so he was not fully fit for this particular game. But again, every team will have one or two or three unsettled players. That is what it is. The tournament we have seen, there has been changes every now and then in each squad because it differs based on the opposition that the team play and the conditions as well. So there will be one or two changes happening every now and then.
Rohit, could you talk about, do you think the first 10 overs where India made 28 runs in the first power play and then in the final 15 overs when they slowed down a little bit, especially the Mahi and Kedar partnership, which had a lot of singles, do you think those are the two phases where possibly things could have been different?
Yeah, I mean, see, when you lose game, there will be a lot of possibilities of why we lost the game. Losing an early wicket always puts you under pressure, and we lost KL right at the start, and they bowled pretty well in the first 10 overs. Good channels. It is important that the guy who is in form needs to bat as long as possible. That was between me and Virat. We wanted to make that partnership big. And we wanted, because we knew, the longer we bat, the easier, but the closer we'll get to the target. So that was the idea. We took our time, yes, but the condition was such that it didn't allow us to just come and bat and put pressure on the bowlers. They bowled in the right channel, and a lot of batting has been done by the top 3-4 guys. So we wanted to make sure the top 3-4 guys who are in form tries to bat as long as possible. And when Mahi and Kedar were batting, I think they were trying to hit, but they were not able to because of the slowness of the pitch. Towards the end, it got pretty slow. And yes, you got to give credit to English team, because they used the condition really well. They used the longer boundary really well. They mixed up their variation quite nicely and kept us guessing all through the game. So you got to give credit to them.
Rohit here. Rohit, about India's bowling, probably one bad day for the two spinners, but when they were being regularly reverse swept, and probably they were using the English batsmen were coming to the pitch of the delivery. Like, how do you see what differently they did from other teams, the English batsmen?
It's always challenging for the bowler, especially for the spinner, if you don't have any wickets down. And we know their top order, they like to put pressure on the bowlers. And when Kuldeep and Chahal came to bowl, they already got off to a decent start, and they just didn't allow them to settle down. Which was, I think, a tactical move from their side against those our two spinners. But like you said, was just an off day for these two guys, but we have seen them bowl in tandem really well and put pressure on the batting unit, the opposition rather. So it's just one off day. Like I said, the England team, they played a complete cricket. They bowled really well, they batted really well. They got the result.
Rohit, Rohit, yeah, here. Rohit, congrats. And as you said, do you think there's a need for a sixth bowling option in this Indian team? Today, England had 6 bowling options and they didn't use Adil Rashid and Ben Stokes.
We have Kedar Yadav, yeah.
But he didn't bowl today. So is there a case of...
What can I say if he didn't bowl? I mean, because of the condition, I guess, because there were two right-handers batting, for majority of the innings. They got off, 160-70 odd run partnership. And when you have that kind of a start, it's not easy for the sixth bowler to come and bowl. We saw even their team, the sixth bowler didn't bowl many overs. Adil Rashid is their prime bowler. Bowled only I think 6 overs, and Stokes bowled 4 overs. So it just depends on how the game is going at that particular moment. Because yes, of course, we need that option in the middle. We always have that option, but we thought today was not the day that we could use that option, because our 5 bowlers who were bowling, they bowled pretty well. They created chances as well. But yeah, you got to give credit. They batted pretty well.
Rohit, 300s in one edition of a World Cup. Congratulations. I just wanted to know that for an opener in particular, what's the pressure which he feels when the target to be achieved is almost 350?
Yeah, of course, there is a lot of pressure, because knowing that if the guy, I mean, especially if someone's batting well through the tournament, and the team looks up to that particular individual to bat as many overs as possible because he is in such form. So my job as a batsman was to do the same, because I've been batting well. So I wanted to bat as many overs as possible and make sure that we get closer to the target. But anything over 300 these days, we know that with the shorter boundaries, good pitches, it is achievable. It's just that we got to create partnership, big partnership. We did that today, one good partnership, but then when you're chasing 330, around 340, you need that X factor innings of someone coming and playing that 70 odd or 30, 40 balls. And Hardik was looking good, but he couldn't just go on. But that is something that from their side, Ben Stokes did for them. Came and batted and changed the game. Actually, till then, we were right in the game. Restricted them pretty well. But yeah, we needed somebody like a Ben Stokes innings towards the end to get to that target.
Rohit, with 146 for 2, you on song. Were you surprised to see Rishabh Pant emerging out of the pavilion, because poor fellow had not even played one match, and Hardik was obviously man in form?
Not really, because you all guys wanted Rishabh Pant to play, right? You all guys, right from India, you wanted where is Rishabh Pant? Where is Rishabh Pant? There he is at number 4. I think for someone like him also to come and play, he needs some time in the middle to spend and see what the pitch is doing, get used to the condition as quickly as possible. So I think it was a right move for him to come at that number, because again, we know what he can do with the bat. He just needs confidence, because it's obviously playing his first game, expecting a lot is not right at the moment from him, but he should just come and play and enjoy his cricket. When he does that, he does well.
Rohit, if you look at the numbers over the last 6 years, you, Shikhar and Virat have scored 50% of all the runs scored by India in one-day cricket. Now, Shikhar is not in the team. It does probably affect the balance a lot, and it probably puts pressure on you to actually finish the job, you or Virat, to actually play until the 45th over and maybe take the game to the end.
It is a duty, actually. It's as long as I'm playing, I will not think that I have done this and I have to keep doing it. As long as I'm playing, it's the duty, it's the job, because in cricket we say forget what has happened in the past, focus on the present, and that is what I try and do. Try and stay in present as much as possible, not think about what has happened in the past. Every game for me is a new game, and I try and do the same, try and see if I have an opportunity to finish the game, or bat as long as possible, get the team in good position, things like that. I've said that before as well. Yes, the majority of the runs have been scored by the top three, but that's why we are here, to score runs, and we'll keep doing that as long as we are playing.
Rohit, just taking a cue from what happened today with the DRS, how do you guys go about deciding on what parameters you consider, and if you are going to challenge your verdict when you're fielding?
I mean, it's a very tricky thing. You're not sure about. You're talking about today's Jason Royce. Yeah, I mean, see that some of the guys heard, some of the guys didn't. So the captain is under pressure, and it's not right to expect for him to make those decisions always right, because there are a lot of thoughts that comes around with certain players who are fielding inside the circle. Some of the guys feel that he nicked it, some of the guys didn't. So I mean, it's if you're lucky, you might get that decision going your way. Otherwise, we saw what happened, because you're never sure about if it's perfect or not, because sometimes even when the LBW decisions happen, the bowler gets very excited and he says I want to take the DRS, but then he doesn't consider the fact that pitching in line, impact and things like that. So the captain is always under pressure because of that, because he got to make that decision, and he's not in the position to see whether it pitched in line or not. So it's pretty. If you're lucky, you take it. Otherwise, I don't not too much. We as a team don't want to look too much into it.